What's up, guys? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Getting right into it, I want to talk about this Saturday's upcoming UFC 272 co-main event between Edson Barboza and Bryce Mitchell in the featherweight division. Fucking crazy matchup. I'm really excited for it. You got Edson Barboza, who I think is number 10 in the featherweight division. Coming on 36 years old now. He's past his prime. He's kind of that gatekeeper for the featherweights. He's going to be that guy who they're going to bring on to fight the prospects coming up. You know, guys like Bryce Mitchell, Shane Burgos, in that sense, Giga Chikadze. You know, he's going to be that guy. If you want to prove that you're ready for that next level, you got to fight Edson Barboza. That's kind of where he's at now. He's trapped in that realm of he's no longer in that title picture unless he pulls off some crazy Glover Teixeira shit. Otherwise, he's going to be stuck fighting guys like Bryce Mitchell, Shane Burgos, guys who are coming up, having their first shots at the elite fighters. Barboza, you know, you almost have the two stories of him. You know, the coming up prospect version of him, which kind of made him the notable kickboxing style guy that he is. And then you had his key fights against the top level guys like Khabib, Kevin Lee, Giga Chikadze. Goes on and on with Justin Gaethje, you know, but when you put him against guys like Shane Burgos, the early Paul Felder days, you know, he has wins against Anthony Pettis, Beneil Dariush. Those were early on, you know, but then seems like ever since he fought Khabib, he's been hesitant. He hasn't really been the same guy. Kevin Lee did somewhat of the same thing to him as what Khabib did. You know, he still goes out there. He still puts out 100%. He doesn't always come out on the winning side, but he still has put on some really good performances. Dan Hooker's a really good example. He was kind of right in the middle of that losing streak. You know, so Edson still has it. He can still bring the heat, and he can take a guy out at any second. That's why I like this matchup against Bryce Mitchell, a guy who's 14-0. He's undefeated. He does have that one loss in the Ultimate Fighter, but that doesn't count as a pro loss. You know, you have the classic stylistic matchup between striker versus wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy. You know, Bryce Mitchell, he is one of only two guys in UFC history to pull off the twister. I know it's a little cliche to say at this point. Very, very, very phenomenal performance. He's also coming off a very nice performance against Andre Fili about a year and a half ago. I consider Andre Fili like the B version of what Edson Barboza brings to the table and has brought to the table, you know? So it's a really cool upgrade to see Bryce Mitchell. He passed that test against Andre Fili. He looked good. It didn't look pretty. He had to grind that win out. I think it was 29-28 unanimous decision. He looked good. There was some flaws. His striking does have some big holes in it, but his grappling has that ability. His grappling threat has that ability to kind of open up his striking a little bit, and it showed in Andre Fili. He was able to land some really good shots in the second round. You know, after he dominated so much in that first round, it really opened up a lot of good opportunities going into round two, and he capitalized on that. Bryce looked really good in that fight. So I think this is the perfect matchup, the perfect test. Can he go against those elite guys? Bryce Mitchell's looked really good. He's got to use his forward pressure. He has to close the distance against Edson Barboza. That is Bryce's key to victory here, you know. If he tries to stay at distance, if he's not a moving target, if he stays stationary, if he gets caught in that kicking range, he's going to get fucked up, and it's not going to look good for him, you know. In a sense, it's going to either look like the Andre Fili fight if it's Bryce Mitchell's fight. If it's Edson Barboza's fight, it could really look like that Cub Swanson versus Darren Elkins matchup. You know, it could really look that way. The striking differential probably is going to be very evident. So that's why Bryce has got to get close. He's got to make it dirty. He's got to get the clinch. He's got to use the cage. He's got to get the fight to the ground and make it his fight. He's got to do what he does best. Thug Nasty has got to get it to the ground, you know. And obviously, Edson Barboza, 25-3 is a kickboxing record. You know, he's got to use his experience. He's got to use his elite striking. He's got to use his distance, use his jabs, use his leg kicks. He's got to keep Bryce guessing, keep him at bay, keep him at distance. If he cannot do that, he will have a very hard time against Bryce Mitchell. You know, it's really interesting to see if Bryce has upgraded his striking ability to put those tools together to make it more of a sweet science, a smooth running machine, as I like to call it. It's really interesting to see. Guys, you tell me what's going to happen. I'm really not going to make a prediction. This is more of just a breakdown of what you guys are probably going to see. You're either going to see a dirty, dirty, dirty wrestling matchup, or you're probably going to see a one-sided beatdown in the striking department. But we're not going to know until this Saturday, and that's what is so exciting to me, guys. So please let me know in the comment section what you think's going to happen. Is Thug Nasty going to fucking show how elite he is, or is Edson Barboza going to prove that he's still that motherfucking guy? Who knows? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mr. Mustache MMA News out. Let's fucking go, fight fans.